Ladies and gentlemen, I just had a show for the SYLBOURNE Show. I had two of my guests here, which is Hamilton Daly and also Sandra Brown-Pinnock. Sandra Brown-Pinnock, as you know, everybody knows in the hair business that she has Zandy's hair store, which one is in Peckham and one is in Lewisham. And Hamilton Daly, we had a discussion today about the Caribbean Day. But before they left, I said, let me just grab you and just have a quick discussion on what's happening in America. The land of the free, the land whereby it is somewhat seen as the policeman of the world, but yet at the same time there seems to be an imploding factor whereby Americans are feeling that the police who are supposed to be serving them are not actually serving them, but murdering them. Now, that's a long shot, which I just said a while ago, because there are good police and there are bad police. And as well, it is very important, we know about that, the Black Lives Matter, some very controversial, but I just want to just have a quick discussion, just about 10 minutes or so with my guests. Now, Sandra, you talk a lot about black boys and your passion for seeing them. What do you think about America and link that with the UK? What's your thoughts?
What's my thoughts?
And especially to what happened, the killing of Philander Castile and Alton Sterling.
I think it's quite sad because all life matters, not only black lives, but every life matters. But I think that the reason why it's focused on black lives is because it's the majority, 99.9% of the guys, and this guy's always men that is being killed in America, it's black men. So that is why it's say, the saying or the slogan is Black Lives Matters. Mm-hmm. And I think that as the police force this is just my objective. I think that they're really strong-handed, and I think that it's quite fundamental the way how they behave when they approach a black man and when they approach a Caucasian or a white person. So I think that it goes down to maybe training. Sometimes maybe it's institutionalized racism. I don't know. This is just my perspective on it. But I think that the police, they need to look at how they train their officers, because I think that the officers go out, this is from what I see, I think that they go out saying it's me against them. So it's the police against the public, anyone at all, because it's not always, just black, because I've seen where, this elderly woman, they pull her out of her car, throw her on the floor, she had a broken arm and her ankle was broken. So, it's how brutal they are. To me, it's like they go out in fear. And if you're a police officer, you can't go out in fear. I think that sometimes it's best if you go out quite gentle, and you have to weigh up the situation. It's not everyone is going to just take a gun out and shoot someone, because in America, as we know, the gun laws, anyone can, they have this, their amendments about bearing arms. And so I think that it's the whole thing. It's not just about looking at the police are shooting. It's about the whole thing that they have to look at. Look at how they behave, their gun laws, how the police are trained, etc., etc.
Yeah. Hamilton, now, Hamilton, I did not give anyone any forewarning about this, so I'm putting you on the spot, I don't want you to incriminate yourself, so it depends on what you say now, okay? But honestly, seeing what happened there, listen, I tell you this, personally speaking, when I actually saw the killing of Alton Sterling, I saw it in the morning, and then I said, I didn't see this one. It was like the norm to actually see the killings, And then as the days go by, I actually saw more of it trending on Facebook. And then, but something about it really hit home so strongly that no matter how you are very protective of yourself or of life or cushion, as a black person, it must have an impact. Sir, what do you think about that? I mean, what impact, from a personal perspective, when you saw the killing of I'm assuming that you have seen it.
Yes.
Alton Sterling and Philander Castile.
Yes, I have seen them both. And condolences from SYLBOURNE TV show to the families in America. Yeah. We live in the information age. That's why I do what I do now for Caribbean Day, because we can reach so many people. The thing about the police's behavior, which was witnessed on social media around the world, does not speak good of just not the police's behavior. And not every police is also a rogue, but the fact is they identify themselves as blue. But where do these police come from? Are they not taken from the society? Why is it a movement called Black Lives Matters? Why is it not All Life Matters and not just people who are black who are complaining about what they're witnessing? Where is the other side of the coin saying this should not be happening in our name?
Yeah, and it's interesting you said about why not all lives matters, because that's been one of the critique about against Black Lives Matters by people trending at the same time saying all life matters, all life matters. But then I saw a post that a white man put up and he says all life matters, but at this time Black lives matters more, because they're seeing the clear wanton attack against the black man. I mean, I've got families and friends in the States.
Yeah.
And I remember someone was inviting me to the States, and the person said, the first thing you do, get a lawyer when you come. Get a lawyer on your books.
Yes.
So therefore, if they stop you, you can say, let me call my lawyer.
Yes.
It is something that sometimes can hold them back. That
Yes.
is another thing, you know. And that is really powerful, you know.
Yes. I remember, I just saw a clip, I think it was today on Facebook,
Yes.
where it had 10 million views. There was someone telling or teaching someone how to act.
Oh,
if a police
the guy in the hat.
Yes,
Yes,
I think
yes,
the
I
only
saw
thing that was missing.
yes,
Yes, the only thing that was missing, when you're a black,
Yes.
this is how you act. Otherwise, everything's okay.
Yes.
There's a disparity there, which all of America has to take responsibility for, not just the police.
Yes.
Because if it's not troubling one side, and you have a movement saying Black Lives Matters, it should be All Life Matters, and
Yes.
everyone should be saying stop it.
Stop
It's
it,
making
yes.
us look bad all over the world.
Now, Sandra, yesterday you had another branch of demonstration in the UK, central London, whereby young black people, very angry, saying no justice, no peace. Black Lives Matters. And then at the same time, people are saying, why are people in the UK demonstrating, you know? These are young people, angry, but at the same time passionate. And I saw they are saying, like, we need to love each other, care for each other. Do you see, like, it's an awakening? Is it?
Yeah, I think that it's an awakening. I think that especially young people, they're waking up because we have our own problem here in the UK, you know, knives, and again, it's in the black community more. Young people are getting into gangs where they're taking knives and they're killing each other, they, you know, maiming each other. And so it's something that's, you know, we need to look at also as a black community here. Why is it that, you know, young people, especially young black boys, get into gangs? You know, what is it that we're not teaching them? Have they got any role model? Have they got any mentors? You know, these are the things that we need to look at, because if we don't look at it, then we might find ourselves in the same situation as what's going on in the US.
Yes.
But there is something fundamental that is going on here within our black community, where, you know, black boys, they leave school, they have nothing to do, they can't find a job, you know, and again, society look at them as outcasts, and that's how I see it. And that's one of my drive, where I want to do some, you know, some kind of mentorship, you know, mentoring young boys, you know, that they have something that they can look forward to.
Yes.
And that's when I come back about my business, about we need to pour into the black community where we can employ, you know, there used to be apprenticeship. There's no apprenticeship anymore. So what is it for our young black boys, or young and also black girls? What is it that they have to aspire to look to when they leave school, when they leave college? They have no job. And so, you know, my mom used to say, the devil find work for idle hands. And that's the thing.
Yes. Now, that's very important. And I mean, but what then can we, and sometime I was watching it, Hamilton, and I was saying, what can we do here in the UK to assist or to help our brothers, sisters in the States? Is there anything we can do?
Well, what the demonstrations in London is showing the authorities, even in the United States, that this now is the information age. It's looking bad across the world. It's a global consequence for this kind of behavior. And I sort of ask the question, where do these police officers come from, if not from the society, and then they return to the society with their own families and their own children? And it seems to be a different, like two worlds. Like one of the problems I would just identify with the issue, just the name Black Lives, which a group got together, said that was what they were going to call themselves. So we support the concept. But Martin Luther King was about a concept rather than a color. So again, I would just say it is all lives that matter. And every person, white and black American, and all those shades in between, must recognize that this affects everyone.
Yes. Well, one of the things that Hillary Clinton said is that America, we got a problem, we got a serious problem. And it's not a black problem, it's not a white problem, but America, we got a problem. Obama is on his way out, and many Americans believe that Barack Obama would have been the savior of black people, but they're seeing that no, that's not the case, because he became the president of the United States of America, not the president of black America. Sandra, Donald Trump, do you think if Donald Trump wins, that he can make it better? Or Hillary Clinton, please?
Well,
He could win. I don't want him to win.
You know, I really wouldn't like him to win, but I think if Donald Trump wins, then we're going down I would say, a slippery slope. We're going on a path, which let's not talk about it, because it's a path that I don't think that we want to take. And we would see where we're going back, where you'd have the Ku Klux Klan, because I think that the Ku Klux Klan is infiltrate, but that's another story. The police force
I
in
believe
America.
that as well.
So that's my view. So I wouldn't even think about Donald Trump, but I think that America needs to wake up, and they need to stop it, and stop it now. And you know, they're marching and they're talking about it, but they need to really make sure that this doesn't happen.
Okay, well, thank you so much. What's your final word, Hamilton, on this, or if you want to say something?
Just on the election, it's internal politics. It's up for them, just as it was up for the for England to decide whether it stayed in the EU or whether it was out. There's always consequences in these decisions. They're coming up to an election in America, and the world's watching which direction America takes.
Well, let's hope they don't go trumping. And any last word?
No.
Well, thank you so much, Hamilton Daly, for putting you on the spot, and Sandra for gracing us and staying a bit longer. But ladies and gentlemen, just want to really say that we all have a purpose, and we all have a duty to play in this whole process regarding Black Lives Matters. As a matter of fact, you're correct. It is all lives matters. All life matters. Therefore, we need to work together collectively. But there's something that I really feel strong about. One of the reasons why I believe that many of the very influential of black Americans not saying anything is maybe because the influence they have is based on the influence which has been given to them. I saw the Oscar so white, so powerful. Will Smith, Jaden, and lots of them, but now there's a silence. Of course, I saw Chris Brown really annoyed recently. I saw Snoop Dogg walking down the road and giving his allegiance to the whole thing and really angry by it. But there's a silence, and that brings us to the point that we need to make the black dollar strong, the black pound strong, and we need to actually work together collectively, and not to think that we are being racist if we are saying we need to build each other, strengthen our community, because I believe that once we have the economic wealth and the political clout, then we can move mountains. But right now, what they're seeing is that we are divided at times, black against black, and they're juxtaposing to say, well, have you thought about there's black boys against black boys? Have you thought about Chicago? But the reality is that we've got to work together. Something is happening. There's a rippling effect. We've got to unite, and I believe that we're on the threshold of something powerful and something new. And our condolences to the 5 policemen who got killed, which doesn't help, and it didn't help at all. And thank you so much for joining us, and have a smashing day.